17-time major champion. And that man taken on a 10-time major champion, 5 times a winner here is Novak. This should be a cracker. Here we go. It's Mark Woodford alongside me, Rob Koenig. We've been looking forward to this one from earlier on this afternoon, once we were prepping, looking at all the numbers, but those all go out of the window as far as these guys are concerned once you take to the match court. You've played so many big matches over the course of your career. What is the feeling like when you play a match like this? Are these guys so good and have played so many of these big matches that it doesn't really get the juices flowing that much more? Or is that not the case?
I think it does get your juices going. The adrenaline's kicking in. There's that confidence, so you know that you can play up to a high standard because all the hard work is done pre-event. First few rounds. Comfortable little passing shot there from Djokovic.
We're going to see Federer come in a little bit more tonight. What are you thinking?
I think that this is certainly a play that that Federer needs to go with very early on.
How's that for an opening service game from the world #1?
First game.
But in all, I mean, reality, Robbie, if you agree, we've got arguably the greatest server in the game right now, Roger Federer, coming up against arguably the greatest returner. So these two, the contrast is what makes it exciting. If Federer can hit his numbers with the serve, might come out on top. If he doesn't, Djokovic probably has got him tonight.
Who's the crowd going to be behind tonight?
Well, for sure, Federer. I mean, you can just hear that response right there after the first point. And that's one thing that we should maybe follow Djokovic, just his reaction, that if Federer does get his nose in front, the crowd will just, the noise here in this stadium will lift so many decibels. Will Djokovic, will that affect his ego?
Just long. Good for width. Exquisite length early on from Novak.
15-14.
Hasn't missed a ball yet.
Look at that focus in the eyes. Glaring down, waiting for that ball.
Djokovic.
What a statement of intent
Djokovic leads
from Novak. It's the manner in which he's broken him that I think is quite telling already.
Yes, I mean, there are so many numbers that we could churn out for everyone watching at home, but I think a key ingredient there is when Federer loses 2 or more serves against Djokovic, he hasn't beaten him since 2012. So there's one service break already.
like that.
And you and I also were discussing about a match they played back in 2014, Shanghai. Oh, it's an indoor tournament, but that's the type of return that Federer played quite a bit. Ended up winning in straight sets. Was a best-of-3 set encounter. Federer, though, was very aggressive behind that back and return, winning 4 and 4.
Yeah, proactive. Served and volleyed a fair bit too.
It's a Federer return on the left center line. But it was scoring.
Yep. Just got a piece of the line. That reaction, I'm guessing probably about 85%, 80 to 85% of the people in here on Federer's side. The remainder pulling for Novak.
Again, the speed of the courts this year, Robbie, has certainly aided Federer on that backhand side. The ball comes through around hip level and he can come over the top. But the length that Novak has already started in this, he's having to half volley, he's having to take that little extended step into the backhand.
Yeah, and of course, when you keep trying to take the ball on the rise, you take on more risk.
Yep.
He's dialed in early on with the backhand down the line. We saw the winner of Federer coming in. Now again there. And for me, that's always a barometer of Djokovic's confidence when he's hitting that backhand down the line early in a match and making a lot of them. He's feeling good about himself.
Oh, wow.
That is jaw-dropping stuff in the opening 3 games. He's off to a flyer. Djokovic leads 3-love first set. And I like the tactic of attacking the Novak forehand, because for me it's the side that leaks more errors and it's more vulnerable under pressure.
What the return there, I mean, that's a half volley pickup. Federer getting a good healthy hit. Have a look at the slide on the stretch as well. Maybe Federer not sprinting to net fast enough, but I don't think he would have cut any of that volley off at all.
Oh, you're a tough critic, man. I mean, your volleys were good, I know that.
But come on, if you're attacking net, you've got to get there. You've got to expect the best. They're going to make a good attempt at a pass, but I don't think a racket would have reached a glorious forehand threaded up the line from Djokovic.
It's the power, the balance, the control at the end of range that is just so astonishing.
Thank you, please. Thank you.
Semi-finals action here from the Australian Open. It's the first of them. Tomorrow evening, Andy Murray will take on Milos Raonic. At the moment, it's Novak Djokovic dominating proceedings here on Rod Laver Arena.
15 up.
It's just the 3rd point that Federer's won out of 15.
Touch it up.
Robbie, when you think of, you know, trying to put a player together, you're taking a piece of everyone. Would you certainly go with Federer's serve as the one that you'd want a new player to have? That's the serve.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind around at your isness.
I'd want their height.
Yeah, Federer.
I mean, his serve has been incredibly consistent over a long period of time. I know where you're coming from. Second serve as well.
Djokovic leads 3-4.
He's defended that shot very well. Technically, it's so sound. Uses the major muscle groups so very well. Let's have a quick head-to-head here. Who's got the better forehand, Federer or Djokovic?
Federer.
Backhand?
Djokovic.
Forehand volley?
First volley, Federer. Second volley, Djokovic.
It's going to be an important shot, I think, for Federer tonight to plug away at that forehand of Novak. Gilles Simon did it really well. Movement.
Djokovic. See that Federer standing inside that baseline to return Djokovic's second serve. Ominous returns, but still hasn't followed up enough after making the return. Hasn't made the move toward the net. Lovely court position and moving forward. Getting the ball early, directing it down the line. Sweet return. And that's where the court as well, Robbie. I think you know, it's taking some of the slice, certainly out wide with players, and if a player can knife their backhand slice, the ball shoots through, stays nice and low, just like the return from Federer on the last point.
Djokovic again defends his serve well. And he's in control early on here. 5 games played. He leads 4-1 first set.
Borger, can you give me a blue power red, please?
Sorry, thank you.
31 million girls worldwide are still denied a primary education. Women are up to 36% less than men.
Can achieve the lofty heights that these two have achieved unless you're incredibly strong between the years. Is Federer getting on now, 34 years of age? Many have suggested that he's still playing some of the best tennis of his career, if not the best. Just married but willing to exchange. Hopefully Mirka doesn't see that one.
And where's the husband of that young lady? Left him at home.
It's an interesting question. Who do you think between Federer and Djokovic is stronger in the head, Mark?
I think right now, Robbie, you'd certainly have to say Djokovic. It's not to say that Federer is failing in that department.
It's an interesting discussion. I've enjoyed playing devil's advocate with some of my friends. Often have a look at the fifth set record, how they handle it when things start to get tough. Federer 23 and 19. He's actually 123rd on that all-time list. Djokovic is 10th. Lovely combination of shots.
That's that element of risk coming forward on the backhand volley. It's making sure he's gone for depth, placement, and his athleticism getting him back for that overhead.
It wasn't like it was an easy smash either. Again, Novak asking one more tough question in the rally.
Again, there's the start of that rally. When Federer missed the first serve, Djokovic just quickly sending the ball back with firm, right up the middle, pushing Federer backwards.
As good as 2 set points, these for Djokovic.
Isn't he? Right now, best tennis that he's played in the tournament.
He's just cranked it up a couple of notches.
Leads 5 games.
And probing away at Djokovic's forehand, but showing no sign of weakness. He beats Federer there with raw pace.
Yep. You'd see Federer still taking a couple of smaller steps after making contact. And the crowd not reacting. You know, they're not going crazy.
Love it.
Some bit of breaking down Federer's backhand. And keeping it tighter than the taxman's purse as Novak, as far as the unforced errors are concerned.
good. On the line.
You gotta be kidding me.
And certainly Federer asked plenty of questions with this approach. It was hit with some sting. But Djokovic just creating this angle.
Too fast, too strong, too good. It's been a faultless opening set from Novak.
And that first serve there, Robbie, not at full power. He's not redlining that serve. 186 Ks, but very close to the tee.
2 set points. A little bit of Federer magic. I mean, you definitely think you're going to get another look at this if you're Novak. Still set point up. That is a set played with ruthless efficiency. Just 22 minutes. Novak wins at 6-1.
Certainly was ruthless, the numbers there for both players. Balance between winners and unforced errors. So much positivity coming out of